Hey guys and girls, GameCam here, and in this video I'm just going to be talking about Sombra, and basically my opinions on her and things like that. Let's just start off with saying that adding new characters I'm very apprehensive about in Overwatch. They've already got 21 characters, there's a lot of them in there. They all have their different sort of unique sort of playing styles. They vary a lot. I don't think that they necessarily need it, so I'm more of a fan of them adding new maps and new modes than to add new characters. I'm very apprehensive about that, because obviously there will become a point where it's kind of like you have nowhere else to go. Now, the first thing is the fact that I think talking about her story, I mean, that's a bit of a... I'm not entirely a fan of it, because of the fact that, one, I'm not a fan of hackers. I think they're a bit cowardly, to be honest. I don't like hackers at all, in any way, shape or form. Even if they're doing good, most of the time they'll just be undermined because they'll do something else stupid. It's just, generally, I don't like hackers. Also the fact that it's sort of like raised up to seem like she's kind of like cool and stuff, and seems like, you know, it wasn't like Reaper. Where she was perceived, you know, he's described as being evil. Here's the evil person. You know, he says die, die, die. He's like death and stuff. Which is, again, this Overwatch is an international game, so things like this are generally applicable across the country. You see a guy with a skull face and saying die, 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 you go, that guy must be the bad guy. Whereas, obviously, in Widowmaker, you see her in the trailer shoot a guy in the head who was a peaceful monk. That's clearly evil. You even see Tracer get crying up and be like, oh my god, why'd you do that? And she's like, I don't even give a flying what's it. Whereas, obviously, with Sombra, it's a lot more like, oh, she portrays the bad guys, so, but then she's also, you know, blackmailing the other person, and she just, I don't know, it seems less of a, obviously, yeah, from a story point, it's more of a complex character, but I'm not a huge fan of people being like, oh yeah, here's a bad person, but they're portrayed as being slightly more of a good person, which is just generally not like good in the way of the fact that they're sort of countering, they're not working with evil in that sort of sense. So generally, from a storyline perspective, I'm not a huge fan of her. But appearance, yeah, she's generally alright. She kind of fits in with the crowd of people. Appearance-wise, she seems alright. But yeah, getting down to sort of abilities, the machine pistol is what I'm generally like worried most about. Well, obviously, I'm worried about the whole of her, you know, a lot, because I'm not to be offensive to Blizzard. Blizzard is a really good game company. They produce great games, love them to bits. But one thing, you know, from playing Hearthstone, from playing some of their other games, is the fact that Blizzard they only know two things. They either know it's ridiculously overpowered or it's useless. Those are the two modes they get. So, like, before, it was Grim Patron. This is an example from Hearthstone. Grim Patron was a bit overpowered, so what they do, they nerfed Stormwing Commander, so that she is basically a useless card now. She's basically pointless to have. Which is just ridiculous. It's just like a D.Va. Lots of people like, I thought D.Va was pretty OP in the beta, and then people were like, nah, she's not OP enough, so they buffed her, and it's like, now she's completely broken. It's just like Roadhog's Hook. They don't understand. They'll either stay overpowered or they'll nerf it to the point where it's just useless. It's just going to be those two things. They don't have a middle ground, which just makes me worried that makes me believe that she's either going to be ridiculously overpowered or completely utterly useless. If her machine pistol does lots of damage, then I think she'll definitely be in the overpowered category without even looking at her other abilities. But obviously looking at her other abilities as well, the fact that Hack seems to be, from looking at some of the the previews like in the video, it looks like it takes a little while to apply, which is encouraging. But the fact that she can hack abilities or hack health kits. So, like, that just seems ridiculous to me, the fact that she can hack abilities. So you can't use your abilities for a while. Like, any ability. So Mercy, and if you're popping your ultimate, that stops your ultimate dead. Like, it's just ridiculous, because of the fact that, you know, it's just yet another thing that can just stop ultimates dead in its tracks. Like, regardless of how you play. Because all she has to do is get close to you. Looks like she has to get close to you for a little while, so it wouldn't be too bad. There's the fact that she can also hack health kits. So the way I think I'd make that more balanced is what I would say that by hacking things, she can only hack things that you put down. So like, for instance, Torbjorn's turret, Symmetra's little turrets, maybe even teleporters, Symmetra's teleport, or things like Widowmaker's Venomine. She can hack those to turn them onto her team. I think that would be more useful. So like, if she hacks Torbjorn's turret, he has to smack it or something to turn it back or destroy it, or she makes it so it like turns onto her team. So she can't hack people's abilities or health kits, but she can hack items that drop down. I think that would be a lot more fair, in my opinion. But that's just how I'd go about it. But I think that's a little bit worrying. But also, camo, invisible. She can basically turn invisible for a limited period of time. Which is also, again, if she can do any damage, that's going to be ridiculous. Because you're just going to get, oh, I'm just going to go invisible, go behind the Mercy and kill her. It's just going to be like, it's obviously taking damage disables her disguise, so obviously you can be, that's just going to encourage people to just sort of go, oh, there's a Sombra on the other team, better spray the whole area and just spam out. So it's just going to be a bit silly. I don't know, I just don't seem to, I don't particularly like it, but hey ho. And it also doesn't help is the fact that she basically has a portable solo Symmetra teleporter. She has the translocator, so she can even teleport to us while it's mid-flight. So basically, she throws this device, she can teleport it, and she can even teleport into mid-flight. So you basically can just throw it over the enemy team, and when it gets above their mercy, you can just teleport above her and spray her down. It's just like, what? And the fact that she can use it to escape as well. So what she can do is she can cloak in, sneak in, pick the people. When she's bugger off, she just throws the translocator over the nearest fence, and then bang, she's away. It's just ridiculous. And especially if these things can't, if these abilities, pardon me, if these abilities don't have a really long cooldown, they're going to be bloody insane. If they have, I'm worried they're going to do the Anna thing where they just have it sort of built really quickly. So this is going to be ridiculous. Obviously, Anna isn't nearly as broken as what she's going to be if she can her abilities build quickly. Especially her ultimate, which we'll move on to now, which is EMP, where basically she can just it's basically an AoE where anyone in a radius around her ends up having their abilities jammed, shields drop, and all devices basically just get hacked. It's just ridiculous, because again, what you can do is she can basically deny an entire ulti push straight off the bat, without even trying or even having to hit anyone or anything like that. She can just deny an ulti, but just by standing in the middle of them. It's just ridiculous. I think that if that builds quickly, then it's going to be just basically a Sombra on each team. Really, it's just going to be Sombras everywhere. Again, another thing that I just quickly have a word about is the fact that they have made it so in casual and stuff now you can only choose one hero each, which is a bit annoying. Because I mean, it was a bit fun when you could just choose who you wanted to. But I guess it is a bit it was a bit annoying when you had a load of Winstons on your team just being trolly. But anyway, basically, in conclusion, I think Sombra is either going to be ridiculously broken or ridiculously useless. It's either or in this sort of scenario, and I think that it's going to be more toward the broken side, I believe. So I hope that they can quickly balance her out afterwards. But again, as I said earlier, I don't think Blizzard's perhaps the best company for balancing. Again, they're not the worst. I've seen other games that are completely utterly unplayable because they're just not balanced at all. But again, I'll make a video about talking about stuff like this later on. But anyway, at the moment, I'll catch you guys later. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you're looking forward to playing as well. Catch you guys later. Hey guys and girls, GameCam here, and I just want to talk about in this video some Overwatch game modes that they could possibly implement in some new updates. Obviously, Overwatch has this standard mode of 6v6, objective based, like King of the Hill, pushing the payload. There's not much else besides. So I've just been thinking about some other modes they possibly could implement. Obviously, we can start off with some of the classic-based ones, which obviously are very popular. Like, you could go for the standard run-of-the-mill horde mode sort of ones. Fighting off waves of enemies as 6 heroes. I think would be interesting to see. They could do. They don't necessarily have to do the upgrades to